Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. By the way, when all the intro was happening, I didn't see anything. My browser failed to play the clip. It failed actually to do anything, so I was just in the dark. I don't know if we were live or not, but anyway, I think we're live now. I think we're live, and I think people can...
No, we're not.
People in the chat.
No, I think that's...
We're live.
We're not.
Joe, what are you playing for? Stop playing, Joe.
Don't play with me, bro. Because
Sorry.
the whole browser failed, and I'm like, I couldn't see the clip, and there was nothing, and it was absolutely horrendous. And I'm like, are the guys gonna run the show for me because my internet is like working, but the browser failed, completely failed, and I refreshed about 5 times. It's actually funny. Like Hussam the other day ran his Liverpool show, and he didn't have electricity, so Tom ran the show for him. That was funny, actually. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. I just want to thank one thing first before I actually do this. I want to thank everyone that joined us from Joe Football Show. Leeds are cooking. Sunderland are cooking. The new promoted team are absolutely cooking the Premier League currently. Sunderland are absolutely wonderful. Leeds are
title race, man. They're the true challengers to Arsenal's title, man.
This is gonna be a fun, guys. This is gonna be a fun show. Sunderland, yeah. This is gonna be a fun show. You know what I'm happy with, to be honest? I don't hate Newcastle, but I can tell on Twitter that Newcastle fans hate nothing more than Sunderland being up there. They're like, what the fuck? Why are they up there? They can't believe it, you know?
Imagine they won the league.
Like, Bro, Sunderland, the Newcastle fans can't believe that actually Sunderland is up there. Leeds are 15th, 11 points. But listen, Nottingham Forest already are going to get relegated. West Ham are going to get relegated. Wolves are going to get relegated.
No,
Chelsea are not.
no newly promoted side has been relegated.
Which is finally
has been relegated when they have 11 points by 10 games. We have 11 points by 9. We're staying up. Fucking get in.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just going to tell you that Leeds actually play good football.
They did.
I think one of the most entertaining teams to watch is actually Leeds United. They're open. They attack with numbers. They play good football. Chelsea are in crisis. Actually, but no one is talking about it. Actually, the people that don't know, the Champions League covered. Because actually, I just looked. I didn't know that Chelsea won only 2 out of the last 5 Premier League games. Red cards or not red cards, but they did. So I don't know what is going to happen with Chelsea. And the club that actually are cooked the most, of course, Liverpool Football Club, of course, are absolutely cooked the most. Liverpool are cooked the most. Bro, you lost 4 in a row, bro. Your manager is losing his head complaining about it. He's doing, bro. He's doing everything that you guys talked about before. He's speaking about referees. He's speaking about set pieces. Bro, Arne Slot has lost his head completely.
I think this is a Liverpool thing because Klopp used to do exactly.
No, but not like this. Not like this, bro. Come on. Bro, the guy after Rory's gonna be here, guys. He's having mic problems. But guys, before we go on, actually, I just want to tell you, thank you, Akia, for the super chat. Appreciate the support as always. And I want to thank all the people that have been very generous with us over the last month in October. It was absolutely great. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, watching the videos, liking, subscribing. Because we are in 45,000 subs, we're closing in on 50K, which is absolutely wonderful and magnificent. For everyone that is actually getting involved in the show and all the content creators that are here, always Dan, Rory, Joe, Sal, Fawzi, Staffy, Osam, I name Paz, and all of them, Jess, Don, everyone that is actually contributing, Igal as well, Jamie, Lee, Judges, everyone that is donating their time. I want to thank all of them because this has been a journey. We help each other. We try. And thank you for being here. I have good discussions, banter, and sometimes rational, sometimes not. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Appreciate you. And listen to Akia and like the video. Let's get to 300 likes live. Where do we start, actually?
I don't know.
Joe, what would you do if Man United are in a title race, bro?
So let's start there because actually I was having a discussion.
It's Man United. You guys know.
Do you know what? I think they might. Are they back?
Slightly. You know what I'm doing at the moment? I'm looking at the octopus from the World Cup. You know, that Argentina octopus that predicted Argentina to win the World Cup. You know what I mean? They predicted Man United to win the league. You know, it's never been wrong, you know. So I have to clutch at anything at the moment. You know what I mean? So
wow.
And actually, Chelsea as well is actually a big topic. A big topic. Being 9th in the table after 9 games. Actually, Chelsea factually had one of the easiest starts actually in the Premier League, and losing to Sunderland at home is not easy. I actually think we should start with Chelsea first. Just get them out of the way because it's not looking good. Then it's not looking good.
It just looks the same. It looks the same. I think that's the thing. We've got consistent inconsistency at the club at the moment. Yeah. I think we were having these conversations last season. We dropped points to Ipswich. We dropped points to teams we really shouldn't have last season. But until, like Chelsea fans have been calling out, the model sort of changes a little bit. If you are constantly relying on young players and an inexperienced manager, I think you're going to get a mixed bag of results. I think there are times we look promising and there are times where we falter and we don't look great. And there are moments in a game that are purely based down to either individual quality or inexperience. And I feel like it's a bit of a broken record with Chelsea at the moment because I don't think too much is changing. I just think what was achieved over the summer and the last few months of last season probably gave some people bigger expectations than what really were their realistic.
But now I got to change it a little bit and ask you. I speak to a lot of Chelsea fans, right? And I know a lot of us do, right? All of them rate the squad very highly. So what you're saying about, like, all of them rate the players high. The Estevao, Neto, Joao Pedro, Palmer, Palmer is not playing now, but they talk about Enzo, they talk about Caicedo, Lavia, Reece James. Like all of them talk about the players that are. So there must be something that is not working because you are.
Well, I think some players there might get a little bit too much praise or a little bit too much expectation on them. Like I personally don't think João Pedro's coming in and going to absolutely revolutionise Chelsea. I don't think he's got more than 10 goals ever at Brighton. I think he looks like a good talent, but I don't think he's reliable. I don't think he's ever truly locked down a position. So
are we overreacting? Because not overreacting. Did we praise Chelsea more than we should after the
yeah, we
World Cup?
overhyped Chelsea. I think
We overhyped. Yeah, that's the word I wanted to use. We overhyped them.
Off the back of that PSG game, I think Chelsea were overhyped a little bit going into the season, yeah. Because I don't ever think they were truly going to be able to compete for the title. And I think some people thought they might be able to. So maybe 9th looks worse than it actually is now.
Dan, you've got a great point because obviously it was only a couple of games ago there was chat of Maresca and then he gets that result against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's running down the touchline.
Yeah,
and everyone's going, "Oh, they're good again. They beat Forest comfortably." But when you actually look at them,
worst team in the league, though, wasn't it?
Liverpool are a mess and
Liverpool
Forest are brutal, right? And then they're now Sunderland, and it's like you say, it's up and down, up and down.
Well, I think if you look at Chelsea's results this season, I don't have them to hand, but we obviously beat Graham Potter's West Ham side, which were atrocious. Any team that's been in a bit of form when we've played them, I think have probably got a favourable result against us. Bar Manchester United, they weren't in form, but they did get a result. I really don't think Chelsea have been great at many points this season, but we've done okay in some games, like that Liverpool game against, maybe not against the odds because of the form they were in, but I don't think anyone really truly expected Chelsea to win that one, and they did. So yeah. I think we've been a little bit underwhelming this season, but we have had some injuries and they haven't been great in terms of.
Sometimes it's the consistency of the team, innit? Like if you haven't,
I think that's the massive thing here, Fuzi. I think the consistency is the biggest issue. And when you have the youngest squad on average in the Premier League for a number of seasons, I think you have to expect inconsistency and a roller coaster.
Yep.
If you add experience in, then I think you start to get more consistent.
But the players have experience. Kukurea is an experienced player.
I think only some.
But that's enough. But that's enough.
Is it? Because
Kukurea, okay, I need to tell you the players that Enzo Fernandez is a very experienced player by now. I don't
think he's the problem, though. I don't think Caicedo is the problem. I think these players...
Reece, Kukurea. By the way, João Pedro is an experienced player. Like, João Pedro has been in the league for 4 years, since Watford days.
Relegated
no.
Watford.
So João Pedro played Watford, but that means he has a lot of games under his belt, right? You know, Neto has been in the league for a while. Neto has been in the league for a while.
If I look at João Pedro's got games under his belt where it's acceptable to finish 9th in the Premier League. It was acceptable to lose.
And you're talking about the winning experience.
Yeah, I don't think he's got it. Because what was he winning at Watford and what was he winning at Brighton?
Nothing.
Exactly. So you're not bringing in someone there that's got loads and heaps of winning experience. I think the same can be said about the majority of our recruitment. Do I think that's an issue? It is if you want to win titles. Do I think it's an issue if the squad want to better and develop talent and then sell it on or keep the best and hope in a few years' time it's good enough to win a Premier League? No. But it depends how you view what is necessary in the immediate future.
Because if we look at Chelsea now, so are Chelsea playing the way that we expect them to play? Because of all the problems under Maresca, yes.
Yeah, they're playing exactly how I'd expect.
So this is the level that you think Chelsea are in, the right level based on the players they have, based on the manager they have.
Because we had a chat the other day, didn't we, about Chelsea's defence, and we were saying, I can't remember if it was on or off camera, but we were saying that Chelsea's defence is made up of probably Tosin, Levi, Chalobah. Realistically, are these players good enough to go and win you a title? Probably not. They're probably on their own or together as a two, probably not good enough as players. And I think we saw that in that goal that Sunderland won the game with. It was horrendous defending from Tosin and Chalobah. And I think until you go and recruit heavily in that area with better players, better talent, better ability,
experience
I think we're going to have an issue around the defence. Same with the goalkeeper. And I also think Chelsea have...
I don't think Sanchez is the problem currently. It's not currently. He's not the problem.
I don't think he's the biggest problem. You know, like there was a point last season when he was the sole focus was on him breaking down everything. I think there are bigger issues with our centre backs right now, and I think there's a big issue with Chelsea scoring goals again from their striker. Liam Delap, look, if he wasn't injured, it might be a different question, but João Pedro has not done the job, and I don't think Mark Guy is going to be reliable in that position. So right now, Chelsea have got an issue with their striker as well again. And I think you'd be fair to say that the recruitment have probably neglected those three areas the most when it comes to bringing in new players.
If I'm looking at Chelsea, guys, anybody can talk, by the way, about Chelsea. The problem what I see with Chelsea now is a manager that likes to have ball position, but he doesn't have the players to actually play that ball position forward-wise, attacking-wise. Neto, Garnacho, apart from Estevao, there is no one that is actually suited to a ball position team. Neto likes space, Garnacho likes space, Gittins likes space, João Pedro likes space. None of them is actually play against low block. None of them is that good to actually break a low block. But he insists on having, if I'm not mistaken, you are the highest in ball position or second. Let me check because you're the second, right behind Liverpool by 1% in ball position in the league. But it's not helping you, right? It's not helping you because I was speaking in the terrace. I went to the terrace match reaction and I was saying that Garnacho scored only when he had spaces. Similar to like Elanga player for Man United. When Elanga goes to Newcastle, if Newcastle have the ball and there's tight spaces, Elanga's useless. Because Elanga needs 4 yards to run. He needs to push the ball and run after the ball and beat the man with speed. Garnacho might need space, which is how he scored. Now, Chelsea, after the goal, you had ball position. After they scored, he was useless. Like Neto was like, okay, Neto cut, cross to who? Gui is in the 18. There is nobody to cross to. Maybe they need Delap back. But Enzo Maresca is not helping himself.
I think it would be a benefit. I completely agree with you. I think Chelsea have built a team that when the game is open and it's allowed to be a bit open,
you look the
they
best.
can be dangerous. But when there's a low block, they really do struggle. And I think Maresca as a coach has shown that he struggled against teams with a low block. And I think that's why we looked so good against PSG, because PSG were open and trying to win that game of football and we played straight through them. And I think the same can be said about that Liverpool game.
Don't you think, like, Dan, is the underdog mentality? Like, when they're underdogs, they try it hard.
I just think what Mo said is that I think in transition, we've got some really extremely quick, instinctive players that can hurt a team. And players like Caicedo do have the ability to play through. But I don't look at players like Enzo, Buonanotte, João Pedro, players like that, to get on the ball in a low block situation and really make something happen. I don't really see it enough. I don't think without Cole Palmer, I think we're going to struggle against low blocks. I really do.
So you're a counter-attacking team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we are. I think we are. And I actually think the funny thing about that is Maresca doesn't want it.
Exactly. Maresca is a Pep disciple. Italian, but with a tiki-taka, a ball position flavor. He wants to always have the ball, the slow build-up.
He's the most Spanish Italian I've ever seen in my life.
He's a West Brom legend, isn't it?
They are one of the slowest teams in the build-up, by the way. They're one of the slowest teams in the build-up, right? And you look at them, I'm like, but your team is not set up to play like this without Cole Palmer at all, because there is no one to break the lines. There is no one to play in tight spaces. Also, there is one problem that I saw with Chelsea is the lineup. He keeps changing the lineup because he wants to protect. I said that yesterday. He wants to protect the assets. Because it's the board. They buy these players. They want them to play. Because what was the reason for him not starting Estevao? So Gittins played well against Ajax.
I think that was to do with fitness. I really do. I think they're protecting him. Yeah, I do. I had this chat actually the other day with Charlie and I think it was Charlie or was it Alex? Can't remember, off Chelsea Fan TV. And I basically just said, I'm not sure Estevao will start in this game because I think they want to protect him. I don't think they want to give him too many games at his age.
So what happened? Anybody think that Chelsea can be outside of the top 5 next season? Champions League? Is that a possibility? After probably all of us said that it's not possible for Chelsea to finish outside of the top 5?
You wait till Garnacho starts throwing his rattles out of his pram. That's what you're going to have to worry about. Wait till that happens. That's inevitable. That's going to happen. And his brother getting involved as well. So, yeah, and you never know. You never know. They could be. The league's getting tougher.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is
I think there's still time for them to get things right because
Palmer comes back.
There's a lot of injuries in it that's coming back we're gonna see if they're gonna be improving when those injuries come back.
There's been a lot of players that we've been sort of always saying, "Oh, there's injuries, they're coming back." Last season when we were in a bit of dodgy form, everyone was saying, "Oh, Lavia will be back soon. Don't worry." Then our midfield will be cooking, and it'll be the best midfield in the league.
It's all about the chemistry, though, Dan. It's all about the chemistry, bro. I mean,
yeah, it is massively, and I think
we have chemistry together if they come back, like Cole Palmer and Delap and that.
When you're adding constant new players as well, how hard is it to constantly keep gelling new players together all the time? But I look at Manchester United and Spurs, and they're already having way better seasons than they were last year, right? And that would be my concern, is that I think they're probably the two teams with squads that are capable of getting back into Europe that weren't there last season.
Well, they haven't got no Europe. They have got nothing.
No, that's it.
It's not luck. It's just circumstances. It happens. That's how it happens.
Circumstances.
Well, they're the
but it can work both ways, though, doesn't it? Momentum could be Europe. When you're in Europe, it's better to play. I spoke to an ex-footballer. He said that sometimes you get momentum. It's better to play.
I want to get Joe's opinion on something. Probably, Joe, you're the one from us that actually watch the most the other teams, because you do watch-alongs for your team. So you probably watch your team play the majority of the Burnleys and Villas and others. Which team out of the teams that are not your usual suspects that you think can actually sustain it to finish ahead of Chelsea this season? Bournemouth, Sunderland, Spurs, Villa, Palace.
I was going to say, if I look at the table, I would say Bournemouth, but we were better than Bournemouth. And we should have beat them. They scored a last-minute equaliser. So it's hard for me to look at it from my game and say, oh, Bournemouth, because we were better than Bournemouth. Do you know what? You mentioned them there just a second ago, and I think Emery's done a great job from how they started the campaign. But Villa now,
I think aren't they on 7-game winning streak?
Yeah, but no, they're 5 undefeated. I think they've won 4 on the spin. Maybe Villa, but listen, Sunderland, I really like Sunderland. I like what they've done, but they've got the AFCON. They've got about 8 or 9 players going AFCON. That will hurt them. They're not going to stay up there. I think they're going to stay up. I think Bournemouth, what Bournemouth, maybe Villa, but that's it, really, I think.
Spurs?
Oh, well, Spurs, well, yeah, that's a given, isn't it? But they need to sort their home.
United?
And United potentially.
Do you guys know how disastrous it is if Chelsea finish like 6th or 7th for the club financially, right? You guys know how disastrous that is?
They're in a battle for top 4, though, aren't they?
There is no Club World Cup for them. And the Champions League money will save them because they spend a lot of money and their wage bill is climbing up there, right? So you need that Champions League money. And also the assets. Chelsea relies so much on their assets and actually selling players. If you don't make Champions League, what is your selling point? These players are not good enough. So why would, for example, if Atletico Madrid was going to pay 50 million for Garnacho, for example, or 60 million after Chelsea bought him for 40, if Chelsea don't make top 4 or top 5, they're going to come with 40, 35. You know what I mean? They're not going to come with that much money.
Because, Chelsea still generated money for players when they didn't get Champions League football. Yeah. So I think they will. I think Chelsea will still find a way to generate money and deal with not
just sell another hotel, as Tevin says.
They won't necessarily do that, but I think they will find a way to get themselves out of trouble. They've
continued. Around the ground.
They still haven't got a front of shirt sponsor, so maybe they go and bring one in, and it might be 10 million less than they really want. But it's desperation times. It's another 40 million. Like it's
me and Dan spoke about this off camera. Actually, me and Dan spoke about this off camera. The fact that Chelsea are not desperate to get a shirt sponsor, right? That tells me that the board are comfortable. They're not desperate. They're waiting for the right deal. They're not desperate for it. They're not going to get the 20 million. They're waiting for the 30, 40 million deal, right? That means they're not desperate for the money. But in terms of the players, bro, the problem is I think the confidence of your players are going to go down if you lose games like the Sunderland. Wins bring wins, right? I know. Who do you play in the cup this week?
Wolves.
Away or home?
Away, actually.
That doesn't
matter. You're going to beat them.
That'll be
hard. It's terrible, man.
Yeah,
I actually don't know. Apparently, there's like uproar at Wolves and meetings this week.
Yes.
So let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, João Gomez actually tweeted and the fans responded.
They're all tweeting, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
Jose Sarr was nearly scrapping with fans. Herrera.
I actually respect that, Joe. I think he said things well, actually, and I think sometimes in those situations it takes that because I think it puts fans.
He's on the fucking bench, him. He's not even playing.
But I think he basically come out, didn't he, in defense of the players and said it's not just the players here at fault, it's other people as well. So I kind of like that from a player, because I think he wants to protect his teammates, and two, I think he wants to sort of air it out with the fans and get them understanding there are bigger problems at the club than just the players, and the players are fighting. And they did, didn't they? I know they lost, but they got themselves back in the game. In that game against Burnley, but it's too many losses, isn't it? But I just think Chelsea have got issues on their hands for the foreseeable until we start looking at that squad as a little bit more experienced.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes for Chelsea, to be honest, because I think
if he doesn't get top 4, I think they sack him, Dan.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, 100% they sack him.
Yeah.
You guys know that the games that Chelsea have to play, right? It's Spurs away. I'm not sure if they're gonna win that. They play Wolves. Burnley away is not an easy game.
By the way, can I just say, if he loses to Spurs, the noise from the fans, I think, will be incredibly loud in terms of having him removed. I really do.
Spurs have to come out and defend his position, aren't they?
Chelsea don't lose to Spurs, and if he does lose, I think people will feel.
I'm not the only Chelsea fan. Every Chelsea fan I speak to, then they tell me we're just gonna win against Spurs.
Exactly. Chelsea don't lose to Spurs, and if he does, with the way things have been, if we lose and we're sat 10th in the Premier League and we've just lost to Spurs, you can't tell me there'll be Chelsea fans not calling for him to be out. 100%.
We'll see how it goes with them. I actually wanted to speak about that the promoted team a little bit, right? And how they are doing now, the Sunderlands and Leeds, and how good are they this season?
Come on, boys. Speak.
Good, very good.
Well, we beat them 2-0.
Better than Southampton.
It's quite easy for me. It's quite easy, I mean, they're doing all right. They're doing good, to be honest with you. They're doing.
I like the teams that finish very, very bottom, like a Man United team, a Spurs team. How good they are. How good these teams are.
A slight dig there. You know what I mean? No. Look, Sunderland are good, but you always get one or two teams that do good every season, isn't it? There's always that surprise team. I knew Sunderland would be good. I thought they won the window.
Last 2 years we haven't had it.
No, we haven't. Do you? Last 2 years, there's been.
I think that's the most important point, though. Is how good are they? Are they better than current teams in the Premier League? And I think the answer's they're better than probably West Ham and Wolves. Yeah. And I think that'll give
but they're better than a few others as well. I think so far, perhaps not Burnley, but certainly Sunderland, and I think Leeds. If Leeds had like a prolific goal scorer, it'd be a different story. But I just think you're looking at it now, and it's not just about being better than West Ham and Wolves. It's about being able to go away to Chelsea and win. And not win in a way that you're like, okay, they hung on for dear life. Actually, it was a fairly even game. I think they've come up and they look like solid Premier League teams. I think for both of them,
the underlying stats for Leeds, Rory, is like, for Leeds, I'm just going to talk about Leeds a little bit. The big chances are 7th.
Yeah,
right? That's very high for a new promoted team. The passes per game, they are top half of the table. They're not bottom. Like that, even though their position is low. Like their expected goals are not bad. They're not like relegation level like stats.
Well, that's how Calvert-Lewin's been allowed to miss so many, isn't it? Because he's getting chances. Like,
bro, he's dog shit. You don't understand. Every time I watch this guy, like,
he's great. He's great outside of goal scoring, though. For us,
how did he get scouted as a youngster to be a professional football player? Is beyond me.
Because
he won England. He won with England, didn't he?
Under
17
99% of the group, wouldn't he? Physically, he's an absolute machine. Like the way,
he's actually ridiculous.
So high, he's quick, he's so strong, and like Joe said, actually, he brings other people into play and
massively
gives Leeds opportunities to attack. It's just when he's asked to put the ball in the back of the net, he's either low on confidence or it doesn't look like his biggest strength at the moment.
If Leeds get a striker, they finish top half of the table, or they compete for that as well. If they get a striker, like a good one.
I don't think we get one in January, mate, because we got 3 on the books, unless we sell Pirro. But I think we'll get a right winger and potentially a 10, which will mean we can maybe switch up. That's why we didn't win at Burnley, because we've only got a combative, defensive, strong physical midfield in Longstaff. We don't have that little bit of extra sauce to be able to switch up the formation, go back to a 4-2-3-1 with a 10. And a better right winger than Aronson, although he played well last week. So Nonton James.
I don't know why you hate the guy. I like the guy.
No, I don't. I like him.
I don't like him. Every time you come here, you bash the guy.
No, within the fan base, bro, he's universally disliked. He's okay.
Exactly. Nobody likes him.
He is. No, I agree with you, mate. I do, and I get pelters for it. So when he does well, I like to dunk. But if we're being honest, like for longevity, I mean, we paid 25 million for him as well. He's got, do you know the last time he scored a goal was August 22 against Chelsea when we beat them 3-0 against Tuchel. That's the last time he scored a Premier League goal. So let's not like talk like he's amazing. He's not. And he went to, where did he go? He went to, who was the team that was in the Champions League in Germany for that one season last season? Was it Union Berlin?
Yes.
Yeah,
Union
he
Berlin.
went there. He went there and bombed, and that's why we got him back in the Championship. So he's not amazing, but I do like him. But yeah, we need better. We need better.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see how it goes with actually, where do we stop with Man United or we stop with Liverpool?
It's up to you, Mo. You know, it's up to you. Should we go
The chat
lower
should
than
decide.
high? Lower than high, then.
Liverpool low is actually ridiculous. How are you, Rory? I haven't said a word. How are you? You're right.
Yeah, sorry, my I don't know,
That's
streaming.
okay.
I thought my
Doesn't
mic
say
was
anything,
flooring,
anything.
but
You know that happened to me plenty of time. When streamer just don't pick up the mic. It just refuses to pick up the mic.
yeah, no idea. But no, other than that, I'm good. I reckon start with my 2 cents. Start with United because then if we move on to Liverpool and then that comes the title race talk.
All right.
I thought Man United is in title race, not Liverpool now. What are you talking about, Rory? Man United is in the title race.
That's not good.
Man United are 6 points behind you. Man United are 6 points behind you.
6 points, man. 6 points. You listen,
Are they
we've lost
back?
8-point leads with a month to go. You know what I mean? So you never know. You never know what can happen. We lost 8-point leads to Man City. You know, so anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? 6 points.
Think about Man United. Their attack is actually very good. Sesko is playing well, and Mbeumo is playing well, Cunha is playing well. And I was having this discussion yesterday with Cam about if Casemiro plays well, Man United will be all right. It's not Bruno, it's not Cunha, it's not Mbeumo. It's the one next to Bruno Fernandes. That is the key for the whole system. And when Casemiro and Ugarte don't play well, the midfield is wide open and you're broken easily.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think we've got a lot of players there that are really used to being inconsistent. It's a bit like Chelsea, so to speak. We're very inconsistent, and it just takes one little bit of adversity, and then we're going to be back to where we were. I hope not, but you know, we're taking it game by game. I thought the Brighton one was the hard one for me. That taught me a lot as a big education for this team, because if we lost to Brighton, it wouldn't have mattered against Liverpool. It would just been same old, you know. So I'm delighted the way things are going, but I don't trust some of these players. They've been there for like 10 years. Flattering to deceive. Dalot, Shaw, Bruno, so to speak. I know that Bruno has his moments, his flair, his little bit of trickery here and there, but I just don't trust them yet. They're going to have to do it for a longer period of time for me to be confident. And, you know, because we can easily go to Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest next week and get turned over, and then everything is back to square one, isn't it? But I'm quietly confident, and I'm happy about being the underdog. I want to be the underdog. I'm happy with that. Do you know what I mean? I want to be the Leeds United. You know what I mean? I want to be there for a change. You know what I mean? So
was that a shot? Was that a shot?
No, it's not a shot. I remember Leeds were good. I remember Leeds were champions.
Manchester United. Give all there.
I remember Leeds were champions. So, you know what I mean? Now, Leeds used to be a good team, mate. You picked us for the title once, and I was there, mate. So, there you go with Cantona. So, yeah, look, you know what? I'm not going to get overly giddy. I'm just going to take everything as it comes. You know what I mean? Game by game. You know what I mean? Mo needs to predict that we lose to Nottingham Forest on Saturday, because every time he thinks we're going to lose, we win. So
I'm not predicting Man United losing again. I'm behind the gaffer now. I'm behind the gaffer now. As I'm behind the manager now. Bro, all the people that said Amarim out now or Amarim in, it's actually like
wearing sunglasses on their streams like nothing happened. Yeah, I mean, I know those guys. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, get him out of my club. Yeah, flip flops.
But no, but he was underwhelming though, wasn't he? I think they were.
You've got to look at context. You've got to look at
what context.
Well.
What context? He was dog shit. He was dog shit.
Huh?
He was dog shit.
Yeah, but you got to look. You're
fucking losing every game.
Look, he came into the football club. He had the Rashford situation, the Anthony situation, off-field issues. Up to your. I said it the other day. Like, Luke Shaw was buying bottles of champagne for the physiotherapist for hush money because he was coming late to his physiotherapy sessions. You know what I mean? That is what Man United are. That is how bad we were. You know,
is that true?
The culture was all over the place.
Is that true on Shaw?
Yeah.
Wow, that's mad.
Hush money. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's just a small example of what goes on at Man United. And Ruben Amorim was tasked with the duty to fix this mess obviously. No, he's a good manager. He's a good manager. And I've seen signs that he's gonna do well for Man United, but we have to be patient. Unfortunately, patience doesn't exist in football anymore.
No.
Unfortunately, so we'll have to wait and see. If he loses one
No,
more
but
game,
there is-
pressure. will be
okay,
back
sorry.
on.
There is patience and there is no patience. Like there is no time. Like for example, there is patience where you're like, okay, I see signs, but bro, there was nothing happening at United
I
that
did.
gives
You know, see,
anybody
some
hope.
of us are a little bit more savvy with the ball knowledge. You know what I mean? We could see things. You know what I mean? No, I'm joking. Look,
It was about the mentality. It was about the mentality of the club. Like,
yeah, the culture of the football club, the mentality of the football club, the implementation of everything, the small details of the football club.
But
Things
none
are
of
getting
that,
better.
none of that had changed though. None of that had been there for the last 5 years at Manchester
We didn't
United.
have we didn't have a
and you were
training
having
facility,
better
you know what I mean?
finishes. I think it'd be fair to say that Ruben Amorim come in and did make Manchester United worse for a period of time.
Yeah, he did. But sometimes you have to get worse to get better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes you have to pass back to open space at the front. You know, that's what you have to do sometimes. You have to go back to go forward. And that's happened.
spend a
That
bit of
happened at
money
Alex
on
Ferguson.
players that are
Same
capable of
thing.
scoring 20 goals in the Premier League season and put 2 of them in your
Yeah,
attack.
look, we've seen the worst. Now we're just going to get better now. Do you know what I mean? We've seen the adversity. You know, I believed in it. I didn't want to call the manager's head. He got a lot of things wrong. Listen, we lost to Spurs last season in the final of a Europa League. It was the worst thing ever to happen in my life. Losing to Spurs. You know what that's like in a European Cup final. My goodness me. So we've seen the worst of it. It's going to get better. And long may it continue. Not starting.
I'm going to say what I said yesterday. Whoever team from Liverpool, Arsenal, City, or Chelsea that finished below Man United, the manager need to get sacked. No context added.
No, we had a good game against Arsenal as well. People forget about the Arsenal game. We were unlucky in the Arsenal game. We played well. I know we lost the game, but we played well in the game, you know. And
that's not a dig, by the way. That's not a dig.
got
It's about
him.
stability. Chelsea should be more stable. Liverpool should be more stable. City should be more stable. Arsenal should be more stable. Even if United do well, right? If you are not performing in the Premier League better than Manchester United this season, I think there's something wrong at your club, right? Because Man United are still having issues as well. I don't know if this is going to continue with Man United and you're going to finish top 4. It looks likely.
It is, man. Trust me.
Wow.
Well, there's no
So you've
listen,
had
I've seen great
before.
footballers, great football teams at Man United, Mo. You know, I'm not one to jump on the bandwagon and pretend that everything's all rosy because I've seen great Manchester United sides. I've seen bad Man United sides, 40 years watching this football club. Do you know what I mean? So I can see signs there. It just depends on how their mentality is going forward. Because at any given moment, look, you can't turn Peter Crouch into Ronaldinho. Do you know what I mean? This is football. You can't teach these players to be consistent. They're 30 years old. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to flatter to deceive. But the good thing about Man United is Seny Lamens, Mbeumo, and Cunha. Those 3 players there have made a huge difference to Man United, in my opinion, and Sesko. And De Ligt has been excellent, by the way.
How good is Sesko? Is Sesko like? How good is Sesko, guys? By the way, I've seen now a lot of people say that Sesko is one of the better strikers in the league.
Yeah.
People compare him to Gyokeres. Of course, that's not because of Arsenal.
He's a lot older,
Arsenal were in
Gyökeres.
for both. Because Arsenal were in for both. That is why they compare him to Gyökeres, actually.
His all-round play is good. It's not just goal scoring; it's his assists. You see that little turn?
It's not
at the
really
weekend?
goal scoring at all, is it? It's got to be the rest of his play because it's not exactly scoring loads of goals, so he has to be doing something.
It's a bit like Calvert-Lewin, isn't it? When he's holding up the ball and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, yeah. His all-round play is good. He's got 2 assists already. Well, kind of 2 assists and 2 goals. So it's not too bad. He didn't start every game as well, so it's not too bad. That turn at the weekend was world class. It goes under the radar. To be honest, the goal for Bremo. So he's only 22, so sorry, he's got time.
So, Rory, can I ask you a question? Would you swap?
No, I don't think so. But I'm not going to slander.
This is the
Sesko.
National League.
No,
the
yeah,
National
but
League.
like, what's maybe stopping you go for that swap?
Experience. You know?
Yeah, I think the experience of it. I think this season, more than anything, we just need like a lot of players that just have like sheer will to win and the experience of that. And I don't think Sesko's necessarily got it, whereas Gyokeres is just like relentless winning mentality. So, but I was more than happy for us to sign Sesko in the summer. And I think people that were judging him after like 2 or 3 games were fairly foolish anyway. So,
yeah. He'll develop well at United. Like, he will definitely become a better player than the
100%,
player you
yeah.
sign. 100%.
Yeah.
Think about it. If he has Cunha and Mbuime behind him and Amad Diallo and Bruno Fernandes, he will thrive. He will thrive. There's so much creativity in that side. Like, he will thrive.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's probably what Højlund didn't have last season, was when the scrutiny was on him to be getting goals, no one else was there and capable of getting goals. I think now he'll be given more time.
But you know what, Dan? You know what? Some of these strikers like Rasmus, great strikers make things happen. You know, and whether it's an overhead kick from 20 yards or a chip or something, or taking on a couple of players and burying one in the corner. Sometimes strikers have to make things happen for themselves, and he didn't make anything happen for himself as well. You know, because I remember Andy Cole and Cantona. I used to just.
You're comparing him to Andy Cole and Dwight York and Eric Cantona.
It depends what type of striker you've got. Obviously, the money paid for him would have suggested that he was capable of probably creating something himself. But I think anyone that watched him probably felt like he wasn't, and he needed a source of creativity behind him. And
well, he's doing all right in Italy, isn't he? So
you know, you can't deny.
Yeah, but he's with the magician. He's actually injured now. He's with the magician. You can never judge a striker under Antonio Conte. It's impossible. Look at Costa. Look at Lukaku under him. Look at Lautaro. Look at everyone that played under Conte as a striker. Conte worked with freaking Pele. You guys know, you remember Pele, the Southampton guy, and Ede for Italy, and he made them work. He's just that guy. So you can't judge a player under Antonio Conte up top. He's making Billy Gilmore look like a world beater in Italy, bro. Like,
McTominay, Ballon d'Or, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the goal that McTominay scored against us?
Yeah, very good in the corner.
What is this, bro?
Very good in the corner.
What is this? How do you score like this, bro? Like, I'm sitting there like, it's impossible. It's confidence. It's manager. It's not that. It's the manager, bro. The manager is so good in utilizing the tools. Look at him at Chelsea. Yes, he had a good team at Chelsea, but he made things work. He's like, I will make things work. For Man United, I'm just going to say that there is people that going under the radar that people don't talk about, like De Ligt, for example. Nobody talks about De Ligt.
Been probably behind Gabriel, the best defender for me in the league.
This season, De Ligt has been amazing. Every time I'm watching Man United, this guy's putting his body on the line. He's reading the game, and nobody talks about him because it's Manchester United. The goalkeeper, Le Mans, he's catching the ball now, like, which is something that hasn't happened at Man United since De Gea left, right? Which is, listen, I watched the Man United game against Brighton. Inter were playing at the same time, and I'm like, I was impressed with the plan, with how the players positioning on the pitch, with how dangerous they are going forward with Amad Diallo and Cunha and Mbuemo with Sesko as well. And I think if he continues like this, that next game, I think you play. Who do you play? Forest? I'm mistaken.
Forest next game, yeah, City ground.
If Man United win that game, and I'm going to end on this, that means they played against low blocks. They won against.
Wait, haven't you got Carabao Cup?
No. Oh man, I don't. I mean, we needed that as well.
That's why we got to be careful not to do too much here, because you're at the Carabao Cup already, and you got to remember what was also happening this season. I think Manchester United looked promising at times, but you can be in a good spell. And when you zoom out, you've got to look at the bigger picture under Amorim. It's still a long time where you weren't great, and there was a lot of criticism for a fair reason. But what I will say is I think he might have finally got to grips with the midfield and how to allow some of those players to cope, like Casemiro. You know, Luke Shaw was following Jorginho around the pitch for half the game, and he'd step into midfield at times. And I think that helped Casemiro deal with normally a midfield space that's probably too big for him at his age.
That's why we miss Licha Martinez. We need Licha Martinez back, because he's the one who used to occupy that midfield space. He used to take the ball out and occupy that space and bring it forward. Shaw's doing that kind of, you know, but he has been playing well, to be fair, Luke Shaw. World Cup year, isn't it? So he's going to be vying for that England place, isn't it? So he'll be playing every game.
I'm going to tell you why I'm judging the next game, guys. Because Man United won against Sunderland, a low block team. They won against Liverpool, a very progressive team that play attack. And they won against Brighton, a team that plays very good ball position. So that's three different types of team. Now they're going to play against Forest, which is Sean Dyche. Now that is the last level of low blocks. This is Sean Dyche football. This is it. You know, the monster at the end of the Super Mario. This is it. If they win against Nottingham Forest, that means they played against every type of team and they won. That means it's not only about adrenaline rush in big games, like against Arsenal, against Man United, against Chelsea. That's the adrenaline rush. It's about a plan that is working. That's why that game will make me judge Man United fully that, yes, Amorim got it right. He's now having the right setup for the players. And maybe he has that platform to succeed now at Man United.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Forest game is the game that, is the one where Sean Dyche is going to be trying to nullify Man United in that game and trying to play that low block. Happily, we haven't got any road runners anymore. Garnacho and players like that who just run into players and things like that. We actually got some flair and guile up front. So hopefully we can open them up. And first goal is important for me. And if we get the first goal, and he'll play Mason Mount, he'll probably drop Sesko for that game to control the midfield and control the game like against Liverpool.
Any concern about
Slot won't be happy. Slot won't be happy if that's going down. You know what I mean?
Relax.
God blimey. Yeah, let's just play into Slot's hand and lose.
But he's becoming the joke of the league now. The official football clubs are taking the piss, are making jokes out of him. Like didn't Brentford make a joke out of him? They said, sorry, we didn't send you the game plan before the game, bro.
He's giving our game plans away anyway, so that's a start.
The guy has lost his head, bro. I'm telling you this. He's lost his head. Mate, he's doing the best in our impression, bro.
Loyal people that don't even say managers out or say manager out now. You know what I mean?
It's not about manager out. He won the league, but in the same time, but the guy's giving up his game plan. He's asking oppositions to play a certain way for him to win games.
It's such a weird tactic to come out and just be like, yeah, we're losing games because teams keep doing this. And then another team does it and he goes, I don't know why these teams are doing this, but we keep losing because of it. And then expecting something to change. It's crazy.
To be fair, Sean Dyche would have won the league with that Liverpool side last season.
Relax, though. Relax. No.
Come on now. What are we doing here?
Come on, man. You're having a laugh, man. Come on.
He just needs to press play. That's it. Press play.
I disagree completely. Listen, this is a Liverpool fan. Big up Redlan Teranga. I say Cal and Jamie. That's Cal from Kopish, Callum, and Jamie Phillips.
Out?
Okay, so let me tell you guys. Let's go to Liverpool, right? You both did. Everyone here did shows with Jamie Phillips. He's slot out. The Kopish boys, both of them, Drifty and Callum, are slot out. One of them won Gerrard back as a caretaker until they find a manager. One of them won Raola. I'm being by the way, they are serious. They're not joking.
They're losing their minds, man.
They're losing their mind. There are a lot of people that don't think that Arne Slot will turn it around, which is what we're going to talk about now. Can he turn it around? And by turn it around, I don't mean get Champions League football. I mean, he has to be in the title race, right? But before that, guys, there's over 600 people here in the house. Make sure to actually, guys, hit that like button. We're only on 170 likes. The target is 300 likes. And also, thank you, Luke, for reminding everyone to hit the like button. Guys, listen to Luke and hit that like button. Appreciate you, Luke. Okay, check out OK Jersey, guys. This is a sponsor for the show, right? Make sure to check out and use the code JUDGE. The very affordable football shirts, of course. Not everyone can afford 100, 120 more. No. Rory, what do you say about Liverpool, bro? Your main title rivals.
Welcome to our world. This is, Arne Slot's spoken about the fact that it actually started happening about halfway through last season. People started sitting deeper, going longer. And that is exactly what happened to Arsenal in 22-23. And we started to struggle with it in the second half of that season. The difference was what happened the summer after that. Because Slot and Liverpool have gone heavy on attack. And that's how they're going to overcome this. Whereas Arsenal, the summer following that, we went and got Declan Rice, Jurdy and Timber. We tried to shore ourselves up defensively. Okay, we're not going to get hit in transitions. That's what we're not going to do. And then we'll work out how to unpick you. And it's taken a couple of years. But it's interesting to see Liverpool have gone the other way. And, so far it's not working particularly well.
Is he doing his best Dutch impression?
Well, I will say, it's last season we never really got to see what he'd be like under pressure, and now we're seeing it.
I swear I said that.
Yeah, and now we are seeing it. It's not a great look because
I said that to Hussam the other day, and I think in the beginning I said, bro, last season you had an easy ride. There's no pressure. He looked like a very composed person in the media. He looked same as first year of Ten Hag. First year of Ten Hag when they finished third, he looked like a guy that knows what he's doing. Rashford is cooking. Man United are third. The year after, they're going to go and challenge. And Slot didn't have any pressure last season. Nothing. Zero. They were 7 points from game week 10 until the end of the season. Never below that. 7 points. Every time they dropped points, Arsenal dropped points.
I haven't lost our second game until the second part of the season. We won the league by that time when we lost our second game. You know what I mean? So listen, the guy is all over the place. The fan base is all over the place, as you can see. The players are all over the place. There's no structure in place that convinces me we're gonna get our next win the next game. Guys, like, we're so bad. Even the loyal people are even turning on him.
What about the players? Are anybody judging players, guys?
I'm not turning on him yet. You know what I mean? I'm an older fan in it, so I'm gonna give him time to try to resolve this issue. Arsenal gave Arteta 6 years. Why can't we just give this guy, a short time that, you know what I mean? He's won the league already, so why can't we give him time to resolve these issues that he has? There's a lot of work ahead. There's a lot of work ahead for everybody. You know what I mean? The players don't look like they want to play. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're getting out battled in games. They're not winning the first ball. They're not winning the second ball. Every single time there's a long ball in the box, we're all panicking because we know there's a goal at the end of it. It's just a mess. The whole thing is a mess. And the worst part of it is he started with one team in the Champions League. Then he comes back to in the Premier League and starts with the team that's been losing in the Premier League. So he's making decisions that's gonna. I said that before, guys. I come on here and I said to you about the stubbornness bit. Then I tell you guys, I said stubbornness turns the fans against you. Stubbornness gets you the sack, and everybody was giving me a side eye when I said that. Now everybody wants him sacked. You know what I mean? So his stubbornness has to get out the way. He needs to go back to the drawing board and go and do a workman-like team. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to go back and play with a hard-working team. Go play Gomez as a right back. Play Konate and Van Dijk and Robertson in that defense. Play someone in front of them that's going to be, running around and try to, help the defense out. Just do something different. I'm sick and tired of watching the same shit every week. I mean, it's like you could pick the team before it even starts. If you can do that as a fan, can you imagine other teams, when they're analyzing you as a football club? They already know what time we're going to do the substitutions. They know what players are coming on. Now it's so bad, even Chiesa is not even trying anymore. I saw him the other day against Brentford. He was just hoofing the ball every time he had the ball. It's so bad around the football club. Listen, there's a lot of work ahead for us, and the way we're reacting.
Is he under? Does anybody here think he's under pressure? Sorry, I got to think.
Of course he's under pressure. He's won the league. Of course he's under pressure.
No, he's under pressure to get sacked if he doesn't turn it around.
I don't know about the sack bit because that's a project from the hierarchies, Edwards and Hughes. So they worked hard to get someone like this into the.
Do you think some of the players are affected though, like Mohamed Salah? With the personality of Jurgen Klopp was quite big, isn't it? He's a big personality. To lose Jurgen Klopp, it must have had an effect. Obviously, given the other off-field issues as well, obviously with Jota, etc., it must have had a big effect on the team, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it has an effect.
So much changes.
Listen, Alisson lost his father a few seasons back. What did Alisson do? Scored a winning goal against West Brom. You know what I mean? This is Klopp lost his mother. Didn't go to the funeral. We still made the top four. You know what I mean? Even that we was out at the top four. So. Things happen in life, but it's how you react. Like why if you talk about Jota, why are the players playing for Jota then? Why are they trying that extra harder to do it for Jota and his family then? You know what I mean? It's just too many excuses that's happening around our football club. It's just a tactical things, man. We ain't got no. I said it to you guys before as well. What are we? Are we a transitioning team? Are we a defensive team? Are we an attacking team? What is our formation? Because none of us know. I mean, we're sitting here game after game. We're just trying to find out how we could resolve the next game. You know what I mean? And it's just the same every week. He needs to sort it out as soon as possible because he's running out of games.
What sort of situations do you think you're coming undone in the most? Like, where are you finding your biggest challenges at the moment?
What do you mean, like in the games when we play? Yeah, it's just, listen, every team analyzes us. I don't think we analyze other teams. And every single time we lose games, it's the low blocks and, the long balls over the top. And unfortunately, we haven't got those players that do the dirty work, guys.
Fozzy, did you see the goal from I think it was the second goal from Brighton? Did Konate give up on that? He could have tackled.
He gave up.
From Brentford.
He was running back and then he nearly caught him, but then he just gave up and tried to put a push on his back and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look at Arsenal, for example, guys. Like every player is signing a contract. Liverpool, we don't players don't sign contracts for us. You know what I mean? They're not even committed. And you see that what Konate did at that game. It's just a mess. It's a mess all around. If you haven't got no connection with the football club, and you want to leave at the end of the season, why are you still playing? You know what I mean? Play someone else.
I have an angle for this because me and Sam do a lot of shows together. So we had all the summer, me and him were having this argument about which approach to football is the right one. And now we criticize Arteta last season for being a little bit cautious man. He's a cautious man. He doesn't go for games. He doesn't commit a lot. Like, you know what I mean? He's always when they lose the ball. And because Liverpool won the league last season, people thought that that's the right way to win the league. It's just
he made a mistake. Let me say something to you. Mo, I watched Liverpool for over 40 years, so I know what happened this season. What he did was he went with the mentality of we don't need to do anything at the moment, which we're going to outscore teams. He went with this.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of
mentality he's gone with.
And also he's a victim of the media.
During the season as we're going along. I mean, with these players that we have.
The media actually give him the idea, Fawzi.
Yeah.
In the summer, everyone was talking about criticizing Arteta last season for being cautious, blah, blah, blah. And Arne Slot is like, look at Arne and Pep. They go for it. They ask for the second. And in the beginning of the season, which game that someone celebrated for Arsenal for the equalizer and see the difference between Liverpool would grab the ball and go for the second one. You know that narrative plays in people's head. And I think Arne Slot believed it, that it's all about attack. I can commit 7 players to the press. I can leave players ahead of the ball. I can just attack.
Yeah.
That's why Liverpool are wide open defensively.
Yeah,
Well, you see, man, even Pep Guardiola now is not doing that. Pep Guardiola is players behind the ball. Let's defend. Let's defend. Yeah, he lost against Villa, but if you watch Man City, they defend compact. They defend deeper as well than before. You watch Liverpool, Konate, you lose position, and Konate and Van Dijk are still a halfway line.
It's madness.
Like it's crazy. The midfield is wide open, and I think he's a victim of what has been said in the media, and him and everyone praising him for the so much attack in football that he did last season. And Mohamed Salah getting all these numbers, and look at this guy creating. And even in the beginning of the season, when Gravenberch scored against Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken, I look at the manager giving freedom to the DM, and he's like, "Yeah, total football. Let's do it. All of it. Let's go attack."
You got to listen to the manager.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Especially in the Premier League, it doesn't work like that. Every team's, get smarter. Every team target the top team of the Premier League. You know what I mean? This is who they measure in yourself against. You know what I mean? The top team of the Premier League. What we did, we disrespected everybody. We just went into a transfer window. We're going to outscore everybody, and we could transition during the season, and it's not working out. He's terrible at managing things like that. The Premier League is a tough league, Mo, and everybody. You guys know that. It's always going to be, teams getting smarter as the season goes along. And if you're basing yourself on last season and then saying that we only won by 1 or 2 goals last season in the games, and this season we're going to beat teams by, a large amount of goals, it's going to catch you out. And that's what's happened to him this season. He's disrespected everybody.
But we're not talking about the players. Nobody here is criticizing any of the players.
I want to talk about the centre backs, man. Either one of them's posting stinker after stinker. A lot of shade throwing at the fullback. I mean, it's a shambles, but the centre backs.
It's everybody, Joe. It's everybody. It's not just one place. It's everybody. The whole team is not connecting in any way.
So are they finished? The centre backs, both of them.
Do you know what's causing the centre backs so much of an issue? Yeah, but the issue is, Joe, right? I think their fullbacks are an issue, and I think they're not coping with the attack from wide areas. And I think in front of them now, I don't think it's being mentioned a lot. Maybe Liverpool fans, because they analyse it and see more of the game. But I don't personally think Gravenberch is giving him the cover that he did last season. I think he's willing to go forward, and I think we're seeing him make that run from midfield in quite a lot of their games, and it does vacate a space there.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if that extra level of protection that you get from a 6 is what Liverpool are missing right now in front of their centre-backs. And then in wide areas, I don't think Gyokeres or Szoboszlai or whoever's played there have been great either to protect them. And we've seen it at times. Teams focus on those areas and break Liverpool down and hurt them. So I think they could do with getting a 6 in January. Really.
That was why it was always mad that they spent 300 million in the attack and left themselves with still... I mean, Gravenberch was never an actual 6. He just did the job very well. And even then, they left themselves with 1 of him. And Endo, who Slot didn't particularly like using last season anyway, unless it was to come on with 5 minutes to go and see out a game. So, I mean, you can put that on recruitment. But, yeah, I just think... I look at, Dominic Szoboszlai is probably the only Liverpool player this season that can hold his head high based on the start that they've had.
Yep.
Do you know what? Cody Gakpo as well, but every Liverpool player, every Liverpool fan wants him sold. I actually think
Gakpo's
he's
quality,
decent.
though. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's had a good season.
Because he's the scapegoat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
easy.
ridiculous to
It's
do that,
easy
though.
to scapegoat Cody Gakpo. It's easy to say he's shit.
Yeah.
While if you look at the others,
Because the other
you know what I
scapegoat's
mean?
already left.
Everybody's a
Exactly. The Diaz and Nunes is not here. So who are you going to scapegoat? So you got to talk about that.
Because
Because,
Cody Gakpo is the last of their worries of this season.
Yeah.
more
Exactly.
worries, man.
bro, but you know that people are hesitant to criticize the others. They criticize Cody Gakpo the most.
But they
The
have to
attack.
criticise just
Criticizing
because the
who,
players
though? You
have
talking about
got.
Mo Salah? Are you talking about Van Dijk? Are you talking about who are you talking about? Everybody.
Yeah, I
Mohamed
think
Salah,
them-
Mohamed Salah,
I'm sitting here telling you everybody's shit. It's not just
Wirtz,
one player. Apart from
Wirtz.
probably Alisson when he was on like playing and Soboslai. That's the only two that's been doing something this season. And you could say Ekatike at times as well. He wasn't good at Brentford either. So the whole team as a collective is just not working. You know what I mean? And he needs to find a way to get it working because at some stage the season might go by and we will forget about the challenging for the title. We might not even make top 4 at this rate. This form we're in is a relegation form.
That's where I think that's where I think Slot could end up in trouble. Like it seems crazy to think he could possibly end up in trouble, but the next 2 games they've got in the Premier League are Villa and City, right? And on form, you wouldn't back them to win either of those games. If they don't win either of them, they're 6 games without a win in the Premier League, and they will genuinely be multiple points away from even top 4. They'll be 10, possibly 12 or 13 points away from Arsenal, but even top 4 is. If you get to the point where you're going, okay, this guy is now 6 games without a win, possibly if you lose both of them, 6 consecutive defeats, and he's in a genuine top 4 race with the amount of money that we've spent.
Exactly.
Like it gets to a point where you go, yeah, it's if nothing is changing in terms of the performances, it gets worrying.
Are we seeing a thing like a trend line here where it takes so much effort and so much mental strength and physical output to go and win a Premier League that the season after teams are fatigued, not up to it, found out? Like, because obviously City had that big period last season where they struggled for a lot of games. And I think Pep only survived because of who he is and what he's achieved. Are we seeing that now with Liverpool? I know they started well, but City started okay last season.
It's the style then. Okay, here's the thing. So I'm completely honest. I know that a lot of people can say I'm glazing Arteta and all this stuff. It's about the structure of the football club. It's about the structure of the team. If Arteta wins it this season, and I'm not saying he's going to win it, but it looks like closer. The way you win the Premier League, if your team is very structural, not concede goals, it's easier to fix the other parts, right? It's either to stay the same. If you play so much attacking football, like Pep Guardiola, like Arne Slot, you have to be a genius like Pep Guardiola to retain the title. That's why Pep Guardiola evolved like the season after. The treble season was different than the season after. That's why he retained the title and got a 4P. The season before the treble, he played different brand of football in the second half of the season, in the first half. Arne Slot, watching him now, I don't think the team is structured to retain a title race, which is what Rory spoke about. When Arsenal were playing well and scoring goals against teams start to sit back, right, and play them on the counter-attack. And if you're not structurally well defensively, you'll concede chances. Liverpool conceded 19 chances over the last 4 games in the Premier League. 19. Arsenal conceded 1 shot, guys. A team that conceded 19 chances versus a team that conceded 1 shot on target. 1. Not a chance. 1 shot on target. That shot coming
That's so bad, bro. Like we can see the first goal, the game's over. You know what I mean? This is how it is now.
And also chances. You conceded 7 chances against Crystal Palace, 5 against Man United, or 6, right? 4 against Brentford, 5 against Brentford. If Igor, what's his name, the forward, really can just head the ball, he missed inside the 6 yards. Inside the 6 yards. Ouattara is closing his eyes while being in the 6 yard, can hit the ball. If he hit the ball, that game would have been over way earlier, right? You're conceding chances. Galatasaray, chances as well, right? Yeah. Like you're conceding chances every time you come against a team. Frankfurt were terrible, to be honest. And also set pieces helped you, which is your manager doesn't like set pieces.
You can't go with the plan like that, bro. You can't go with the plan. You're better.
That's the answer, Dan. It's all about how you win the league. Are you structured enough to carry that? Also, him is going all out attack with what Joe said. Invest so much in the attack and forget the defense. That doesn't help him.
Outscore the team. That's what he's saying. Outscore every team.
Guys, Liverpool look like this, and Gomez and Van Dijk are fit. I just want you to imagine if Konate gets a muscle injury, what happens? Gravenberch is centre back, or Endo is centre back, or Gomez centre back, it will even look worse.
Yeah.
Right? Gyokeres needs to be dropped. Robertson is coming back. Conor Bradley is having a terrible season. Frimpong has a hamstring injury. Right? They have no sub. If Conor Bradley goes out injured, and by the way, he got injured the back-to-back seasons, by the way. Right? Conor Bradley. If he gets injured, there's no right back. It's supposed like right back. That's how light they are in the back line. It's looking hard for Liverpool if he continues to play that brand of football. And it's not looking good, to be honest, for him. And I think he will get sacked if he loses. Dan, to answer the question, Rory, I think he's going to get sacked. And they're going to ruin Bournemouth's season by actually getting Iraola.
Maybe.
Nah.
You'll see. He's going to get sacked.
When you talking about sack, what if he loses the next 2 games?
If he loses 6 on the bounce, that is a crisis mode for Liverpool. You invested so much money. To actually have that dip of a form. The assets, the likes of, they're losing confidence. Vert's confidence is shattered. It's shattered. And that,
Also,
by the way, Can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question, Rory, before you go? Who's more important to Liverpool? The assets, the likes of Ekitike, Vert, Frimpong, Gyokeres, Isak, or Arne Slot? Who's more important to the club?
Assets, of course, because
Yeah,
a lot of money on them, isn't it?
The problem is, you spoke about the predicament Chelsea would be in if they missed out on top 4. Liverpool have just given absolute mega contracts to Van Dijk and Salah, and however much they've spent on signings and then the contracts that those new signings are on. If they don't get Champions League football, they're going to be in a bit of a pickle as well.
I think they have leeway with the PSR and FFP. They have massive leeway.
For 1 year, maybe. But if it's...
they'll sell Salah, won't they? And
right away, Salah is going to be sold.
They'll probably sell him if they don't get Champions
But I'm going to tell you about how it works. The Saudis are not idiots, right? If they were going to offer 80 million for Salah, for example, if Liverpool are in a title race and Salah is scoring goals, if Salah is not scoring goals, how much do you think the Saudis will offer? 40 million?
No, they'll have to offer his contract because it's such a big contract now. They'll have to buy him out of his contract. Liverpool.
But he only will have 1 year left.
It'll still be a huge amount, though, won't it? It'll be.
Bro, how much did they play for bloody? What was that clown from Koulibaly? How much did they buy from Chelsea?
30, 35, something like that.
Yeah, so they're not spending 40 on Salah. Let's be real.
But they've spent big money on players like from other leagues, and they've spent way over what they needed to spend, probably.
That's what I'm saying. So they're going to spend loads on Salah.
Yeah. I think they will. Yeah.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
And that's not saying they're stupid. I just think that they will. I think Salah is so important to that Saudi project when it comes to football and attracting 100%. Eyes onto it. I think.
Bear in mind, though, man, isn't it? Bear in mind, Salah's now on massive money at Liverpool and can turn around and say, "Well, no, I'll just pocket 400 grand a year for the for 1 more year, and then if Saudi don't have to pay 80 million to get me out, then they can basically pay me 80 million as a signing on bonus or 40 million as a signing on bonus." There's no incentive now. Now you've given Salah that contract. There's no incentive for him to leave.
True. That is also true. Yeah.
Someone said he's not like Fonzie's like he's not like that, bro. Everybody look out for their family and themselves, people. Yes. This is what are you talking about, bro? They look out for their family. AMT here is saying last season after 34 games, Liverpool mathematically won. But we all knew that they won in game week 30, right? In March or something. We all knew that they're going to win the league.
Liverpool, the more I think about it, Liverpool last season were Arsenal 22-23. The only difference was that in 22-23, Man City actually challenged, whereas Liverpool didn't have anyone challenge them. And Arsenal got injuries to like Saliba, where Liverpool just didn't get those injuries. It's basically the same thing.
But there was no one actually, like last season, Arsenal didn't even try at the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There was not even, like, you didn't try at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they'd had a prime City chasing them, I don't think they'd won the league.
Slot became arrogant and complacent. Teams are very competitive this season. Everyone raised their game. Slot is clueless. And now because of it, Slot in. I actually think he's going to get sacked if he doesn't turn it. I don't think that you guys are going to win against Villa and Man City. How do you think you're going to win? I really don't. Well, and if that happens, it's not looking good.
Then there's got to be a lot of question asked at it. Then he's probably going to be gone, most probably. But I'm not going to
in 35 years.
I'm not going to be in that bandwagon. That's Arne Slot out and all that stuff. I can't, man. I'm not. It's not in me to do things like that. I just want the team to turn around somewhere somehow, and us as a football club get together and try help each other. That's the whole point. That's all we can do at the moment. I mean, and can we get back? I don't know. I really don't know, because I can't see any wins coming anytime soon if we're playing the way we're playing. Like I said, if he goes back to a hard-working team that can run for him, can do things for him on the pitch, then we've got more of a chance of keeping clean sheets and then building on that.
By the way, I'm just putting this out there, guys. Between Villa and City, they play Real Madrid in the middle with Kylian Mbappe and Vinny running against that high line. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
The issues we're having is the long balls, as he keeps saying, innit? So why don't you put, Robertson and Gomez as fullbacks? Then you could beat those, long balls consistently. We're getting, overdone with. So why can't we do things like that? But he's just an arrogant person, stubborn person, man. He's just keep going to the same team that he thinks like. Yeah. And players, listen, players will move on. That's how players are. You know what I mean? You keep sticking by them, you think that they're gonna do for you, and then you get the sack, and then they move on to the next manager, as they did with Arne Slot when Klopp left.
I saw Trent made it back onto the bench yesterday, so Trent knocking balls over the top into Mbappe. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be tough.
That'll be fun, actually. You're right.
You think Saudi wouldn't pay more stupid money? They will pay him money, but they won't pay Liverpool the money. The problem is, Fonzie, people think the Saudis are idiots, right? Because they're Arabs. They're not idiots. They're businessmen at the end. They know how much the asset is worth. You know what I mean? They're not idiots. Why are you laughing?
Because I don't. Because that's the.
Why are you laughing?
Because I don't think people think. Listen, I'll tell you why. Because I don't see an Arab and go, they're thick. I don't see that. Where's that come from?
Can I just ask how much they paid John Duran?
You just said people look at them because they're Arabs and think they're mad, and I'm like, well, no.
No, people do.
But they will. But they will pay money.
So people think, oh, it doesn't matter what Salah does. They can offer 100 million to Liverpool to take him off this contract.
But Mo, they paid.
I've been told that plenty of times.
Yeah, but I don't think that's because they generally just think that all Arabs are stupid. I think it's because they think that Saudi have spent a lot of money on
maybe
players.
Maybe I misspoke. I'm Arab. Maybe I misspoke.
Yeah. How much did they spend on even Tony?
If I said that, I'd be in trouble more. Do you know what I mean?
Because I'm Arab. Maybe I misspoke. Maybe I think what I mean is, like, people think, fans think that because the Saudis have money and the Emirates, like the money, they can like overspend. Yeah. Give me that Saudi money. You know what I mean? Spend 100 million. Yeah, for you it's 100 million. For anybody else, it's 40 million. I think that's how people think, but that's not how it works.
But and then that's not really stupid.
Yeah,
I've been told that plenty of times.
In a position where it can value money at a different position to what another club can't it? That they can go and spend.
I like the way you guys are selling off Mo. You know what I mean? He could come back and score 20 goals. You know what I mean? Angry Mo is a dangerous Mo, man.
Then they're going to be even more incentivized to pay more money for
100%. If Mo scores money, 100 million.
It's inevitable that he goes there, right? It seems that way.
They spent 40 million on even Tony. So
they spent 80 million on John Duran, and he's playing in Turkey. They're willing to part with money. Yeah, they will.
They're going to spend
and
double
for Mo Salah, who is the absolute icon,
100%.
They will pay what they have to pay to get him and attain him. 100%.
Yeah, but they can get him the year after cheaper. They can get him the year after cheaper, right?
I think
he's the poster boy, man.
Yeah.
And when Ronaldo inevitably retires, like he's the poster boy then, surely, for that league.
Yeah, the 110 million Egyptians will watch the Saudi league every day, and that's what they want.
Exactly. Will they really? Will that happen?
100%.
They'll pay whatever they need to pay.
Will you watch more?
Yeah.
I watch who?
Will you watch? You're Egyptian, right?
No, I don't even know who's in the national team, and I'm.
It's American now.
No, bro, I'm trying to go back.
That's why you had love for Brendan Aronson,
bro. I don't watch the national team because the league the Egyptian league back in the days was so good, and our national team was good. It's shit now. You don't understand. It's absolute garbage, you know. Salah would be an icon for that league. Not the same. Yeah, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
I'm a traitor. I don't watch my national team. I don't watch any international football nowadays. I don't know even. I swear to God, I don't know. If it wasn't Pochettino, I didn't know who was before Pochettino as the manager of the United States team.
One guess.
Halter.
Let's have a guess.
Bert Halter.
I don't know.
complete- oh, it
I
wasn't
have
Gary.
no idea who was the manager before Pochettino. I have no
Greg.
idea.
Old Greg.
I don't know who even that is. Who's that?
Greg Bert Halter, man. Rubbish.
I don't know who that is.
Who was the one who was managing Leeds? He was American, wasn't he? That guy.
Yeah,
That's Jesse Marsh. That's Jesse Marsh.
That's
He's
Marsh,
Canada
that's it.
boss
He's
now.
Canada
He's
now,
Canada
yeah.
boss.
Yeah.
He wanted the American job. They gave it Poch, so you had to accept their cousin Canada job instead. That's basically what.
No, football here is a joke, but that's a different story. Now let's talk about the champions elect, Arsenal Football Club, the champion. Guys, I just want to say for the record, on this channel, I've been live now for 4 hours, and I haven't mentioned Arsenal once. So yesterday, 2 hours and 30 minutes show, and we haven't mentioned Arsenal. And today, an hour, 15 minutes, and we haven't spoken about Arsenal at all. I recorded the video about Arsenal, that's different, but I haven't mentioned Arsenal at all. They're going under the radar, favorites under the radar. 4 points above the title contenders, Bournemouth.
Ooh.
And 6 points, like 5 points ahead of Spurs, title contenders, Spurs. Right?
Yeah.
How good are Arsenal? How good? How good is that? And why the fuck are Sky Sports showing the BBC showing the table with that open play goals? And why is Sky Sports showing the what the fuck is this, bro? What is
You've
this?
gotta, because you can't let Arsenal fans be happy. That's you can't let Arsenal fans be happy with the way. No, look, I don't even think it's crazy to say we're not playing that well. Like we are offensively nowhere near the level that we can be. And I think when you bring back in Madueke and Erdegaard, and we've basically not seen Kai Havertz yet this season, like I think we're going to go up a level. And so that's why I'm fairly happy with where we're at right now. That's why I feel like what we're doing feels fairly sustainable. We have figured out the art of defending pretty much completely. And so if you can still win games for set pieces.
You put it, there's so much putting digs at Arsenal. Erdegaard yesterday, I don't know if it was a backhand compliment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they want to win the league like Mourinho. Okay. Why is that comment being put out there? Like, what is the reason you like? Sometimes I put like, why do you say that comment? Why that comment came up out of nowhere? Why you want to say that comment? Why are you mentioning that they scored only 10% or 20% of their goals in open play? Are you praising them? Are you criticizing them? Because they say it now like with a tone that is like, yeah, he wants to win. And they say nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with this. You know what I mean by this? It's like when you say something, nothing wrong with it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, 100%. There's always something. You know, if we were in, like, you know, City are still at the point where, other than Erling Haaland, who scored 11, not a single player has scored more than one goal for them this season. If we were doing that and it was Gyokeres, right? They'd be using that massively. They'd be saying, oh my God, they've only got one player that can score goals. What does the Premier League table look like if you take Gyokeres' goals out of it? Things like that. They'd be going crazy. So, yeah, look, no matter what we do, people won't be happy. And when you say, oh, he's trying to win it the Mourinho way, fine by me. I remember when Mourinho beat Arsene Wenger and we were playing lovely, free-flowing football and everyone said we were soft and pathetic. So,
you got to start somewhere in it, Rory. I think... you know, people say it's boring. People say it's dull. I don't care.
It's boring, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's boring, but it doesn't matter.
Yesterday,
it doesn't.
Palace were really good. Palace played the way that basically everyone tries to play against us, and they did it probably as good as I've seen it in terms of, you know, we really struggled to figure out how to get through them. And it was, at times, the game was really boring. And then I walked out of the stadium with a massive smile on my face, seeing that City had dropped points and we're 4 points clear. So it's one of them. The most important thing was winning trophies, and everything was about trophies until Arsenal started looking like we might win a trophy. And then it's about, oh no, actually, you need to be playing exciting football. And that's the most important thing. So, yeah, it is whatever.
But why do you think you're not playing? Why do you think you're not playing good football?
Because because the way that teams set up against us, I just think it makes it really difficult to play that sort of football. You look at Palace yesterday. There was a point where we had possession for about 5 minutes, just knocking it across our back line, and at no point did they commit more than one man to the press. They had everyone inside their own half apart from Mateta, and it's like that is difficult to break down. I also think we're massively missing Ødegaard, and I think people looked at Eze and Ødegaard and thought that Eze would do everything Ødegaard does, but also add goals, and he's not that type of player. And we missed someone like Ødegaard yesterday to just constantly receive the ball and move it forwards, because Eze's not going to do that for you, but Eze will provide moments, and that's what he did yesterday. And yeah, I think it will continue like this all season. I don't see it changing, because even when Palace went 1-0 down, same with Fulham, they go 1-0 down and they still don't really come out. They still don't really try and change anything, because they'd rather lose 1-0 than lose 4 or 5-0. You look at when teams actually try and take the game to us now. City did it last year. They lost 5-1. Atletico did it at 1-0. Once we'd gone 1-0 up, they ended up losing 4-0. Like, people would genuinely rather just lose the game 1-0 than get battered. So if that's what they want to do, then
yeah, but no, you remember Arteta's not a good coach. Doesn't
no, he's terrible.
He's a terrible coach.
Yeah,
he's absolutely shit coach.
Do you know Opta have got it at 67.3% for Arsenal to win the title.
Can you send me that?
Nice. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Can you please send me this? But like, how good is I'm gonna take it at a level up. I actually said that Arsenal, I saw it in a video, I recorded the video, and I said that I'm looking at all the teams in the world, and I think the toughest team to beat now is Arsenal. You might get a draw. You might get a 0-0. The toughest team is Arsenal. Toughest team to beat now is an Arsenal team. Does anybody feel that in the world now, the toughest team to beat is Arsenal because of how good defensively they are?
I think they're a very good team. They remind me of George Graham with the attacking side of things as well. You know, it reminds me of all the way back then, and when Arsene Wenger took charge of Arsenal and had the defence there already from George Graham, and then just brought in the talented players in front. I think they're a fortress. I mean, as Sir Alex Ferguson said, isn't it? Defence wins titles. Yep. You know, you can attack all you like, but you know you're going to come second. Arsenal are fixing the problems that they had over the last few years, and you know, if they score one, it's over. You know, a bit like AC Milan back in the day. You know, and people talk about the set pieces. United won a treble on set pieces. People don't remember this. We won a treble on set pieces. A lot of our goals come from set pieces. It's underestimated how important set pieces are. And I think if you concede a goal against Arsenal, you're finished. And that they've got the league. They've got it like this by their cojones, man.
Do you know what as well, right? I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I've been an Arteta fan for quite some time.
Same here. I like Arteta.
I know you have more.
I like Arteta.
So I was saying.
And remember, I wouldn't take Arteta at Inter, remember? That's a narrative that everyone runs against me. It's like, Mo, you're lying. You wouldn't take Arteta as your manager.
People were telling me that, or told me that if he got sacked or left Arsenal, he wouldn't get a top job. I was like, yeah, he would. Like, anywhere would take him. Like, last week, I was saying, like, really, right now, statistically, performance-wise, all that sort of stuff, they're the best in the world. There's not many that can... You're on form. People say PSG, but PSG, I don't know what they did this weekend, but had won 1 in 4 in the league. Yeah, I know it's different standards.
I'm going to tell you the truth. PSG, nobody watches League On. Nobody knows how PSG play until they play in the Champions League. Everyone is going off last season.
Yeah. Oh, PSG. I'm like, well,
if you tell me Barcelona, Real Madrid, I know some of us watch some games of La Liga. Some of us do, right? Like some of us watch La Liga and we know how Kylian is playing, we know how Pedri's playing, how Yamal is playing. None of us fucking wake up on a Saturday, Sunday watching Lille play, watching PSG play Strasbourg, or apart from Chelsea fans. I know you do because you have a lot of players there.
Only because of the
yes, but you get the point, right?
More as well, just on that Opta thing, yeah, they faced the fewest shots on target, the lowest XG against, and conceded the fewest goals. They've conceded 3 goals in the Premier League. That's insane.
That's a record, actually. That's a record, actually. No team in the history of the Premier League have gone 9 games conceding only 3, including the Chelsea team that actually the Mourinho one.
What I will say for that, though, Burnley broke all them records in the Championship last season and finished second to Leeds. So, you know what I mean? I'm just
That's the championship, mate.
I'm just putting that out there, Rory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what? On top of all that with Arsenal
worrying.
and how well Arsenal are doing, because I think they are, and they deserve the praise, and so does
deserve it,
Arteta. But I do think the other teams around them are going to be faltering as well, and I think
They're
that'll
not consistent,
play into
Dan.
Arsenal's
They're not
hands.
consistent, mate. Yeah.
Do you know, last week on this show, we were talking about whether or not it was sustainable for Haaland to keep scoring for City. He blanked, they lost. Boom.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think as well, like the last season, even the season before, when we looked at the games that actually cost, because everyone loves to say that, like, when we went to the Etihad and drew 0-0, that cost us the title in 23-24. Whenever anyone with a brain cell knew it was games against, like, your Fulhams and West Hams, they were the ones that cost us because they're the ones that you should be beating. That's what we've changed this season. Like, our last 4 Premier League games, West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Newcastle. We dropped points in all of those games last season, and we won all of them this season. I think
that's now what the media want to talk about.
And
Yeah, it's not good.
This season, Rory, right? Where obviously Arteta had looked at why you hadn't won those games, probably looked at the numbers, the data, and probably went into the transfer market and bought players that would solve those problems, right? And that's what's happened. You look at that Palace game yesterday, you're looking at a player to step up in moments against a team pinned back defending. Eze's that guy. That's why he's in the squad, and he's done it in that moment. And Fulham as well. Obviously, Fulham had issues, but that's been a difficult fixture for Arteta in recent years, and he got through it comfortably. And that's why I think the credit will start coming towards Arsenal if it hasn't already, in terms of how well you're doing in these situations this season.
Yeah.
If Arsenal win the league, Arteta everything is going to change. The narrative is going to change. Everything is going to change about him, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Once they get one over the line,
yeah, it's a mental block.
And someone spoke about contracts as well earlier.
Yeah.
They're here. They're going to be there for a while, winning.
You might lose 5
They're
without.
a young team. They're not an old team, are they? They're young team.
Exactly.
And not only that, a lot of players would want to join them. I mean, when you're champions,
If they win it, I think they're going to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've got this season, but I do think
it's the next step.
At some point,
that team will go on to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All they need is that winning run. You know, all that's missing from Arsenal is a major trophy, right? Once you get that major trophy, you want more of it, and this is what I'm going to see with Arsenal if they get this Premier League this season. They're gonna be hungry for more.
Why Arsenal are playing like this, and they are playing this well. There should be no reason they don't go and make the League Cup or domestic trophy a priority as well at the same time, because they've got a squad where they can rotate it now, where they can have their second string players get results as well. I think they might as well just. I know Arteta probably doesn't want to prioritize it because he wants to go and win the league and get those competitions done, but I think it would go a long way.
The thing is, we could rotate the whole team against Brighton on Wednesday, and it'll still look like a good team. Like, we literally could rotate the whole of that.
Why did Saliba come off yesterday, Roy? Or
Saliba's still got a little bit of an ankle problem. You remember when he missed a game? You remember when he pulled out of the? Well, no, he played the first 5 minutes of the Liverpool game. Yeah. I think he's still struggling a little bit with that ankle. And to be fair, like, he wasn't having a bad game yesterday, but against Mateta, he was like, it wasn't his best game anyway. And we brought Mosquera on, and to be fair, Mosquera handled it perfectly well.
He's looked really good, hasn't he? He's been a good addition.
Yeah, it's crazy. For 13 million quid for a 21-year-old, like, to do that is mad. So, yeah, that was that. And that's what I'm saying as well. Like, Havertz, Ødegaard, Madueke all coming back. I mean, Jesus, God knows what he's going to look like after doing his ACL, but yeah, there's more players to come back, and as long as we beat Brighton, I think it will be frustrating if we don't beat them, especially considering it's at home. But yeah, like you said, if we can stretch this lead as well, I think that's the big thing for me. Like, Brighton's one thing, Burnley, Sunderland is our next 2. We're guaranteed that at least one of Liverpool and City is going to drop some points between now and the next international break because they play against each other. So yeah. It's
100. This is gonna be tough. Factually wrong mode. Chelsea concede 2 in 10. Yeah, I just checked. I don't know why yesterday someone actually tweeted Arsenal set a new Premier League record after keeping another clean sheet this afternoon. 3 goals conceded in the club's best defense record after 9 games in the Premier League history. It's the club's record. Okay, it's the club's record.
I saw a stat off of that Opta supercomputer saying that they are on course though to beat Chelsea's record. with the way
yeah.
Because of the number of chances and all the stuff
I
conceded.
think it said they'd get 14.
No. Based on the goals we conceded so far, so we've conceded 3 goals in 3 goals in 9 games. So we're conceding a goal every 3 games, which would mean in a full season you'd concede whatever that is, 14.
Yeah. Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yep.
Best centre back in the world.
I think so.
Best centre back individual in the world.
Right now.
Especially with Van Dijk, how he plays. Keep thinking, Dan. I know you're thinking. I did the same exercise yesterday, Dan.
I do really rate him. I think he's best in the league. So I definitely think he can be in that.
Who's better than him in the world?
I made a video the other day, like being, is he the best in the world? And other than people saying Van Dijk, which I think right now, I don't think you can argue Van Dijk's better than Gabriel.
Yeah, can't say that.
Other names people were just pulling out like Bastoni or Pacho or players that they don't actually watch on a weekly basis. So
I watch Bastoni, so I know Bastoni is a weapon going forward as a football player. Defensively, number one, he plays in a back 3, which makes it easier to defend. He's always have a sweeper behind him. As an individual defender, the only guy is the PSG guy, Pancho, whatever his name is.
Yeah. But again, he scored his first ever. Not that it's all about scoring goals, but he scored his first ever PSG goal a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, people are doing too much there for him. Definitely.
The thing about Gabriel
is as well. He's been on like this upwards trajectory, and he's been consistent now for like 2-3 seasons, hasn't he? He's been.
I remember
really,
he was
really
like a bozo not so long ago.
That's why I'm gonna hear again. It's not only about Gabriel. Mikel Arteta, same that he did for Xhaka in the last season before he leaves. He took Gabriel Magalhaes that Arsenal fans wanted out of the team because of the mistakes and the bozo moments. And he made him one of the most solid centre-backs out there. And I think Arteta takes the most credit out of this because he when the coach put the platform for you to succeed, like what Conte did with Lukaku for Inter, for example, right? He took a striker that Man United wanted out to a 30-plus goal striker within 1 year. And for 2 years, he got 30-plus goals, right? Every year. Arteta took Gabriel and put the platform, positioning-wise. I used to see Gabriel as a reactive defender, right? Now he's a proactive. He reads the play. He does the things that we used to press Saliba for or Van Dijk for. He reads the play before it happens. He goes, intercepts the pass, right? He doesn't go and react when the forward already has the ball. And that is what I like about him, that he has the aggression, right? And he also has the IQ to read the game. There's not a lot of center-backs like this in the world, right? There's not a lot in the history of the sport. There's not a lot of center-backs like this. Also,
you know what? There's a clip, isn't there, off of that Arsenal documentary as well. And I don't know if it was with Gabriel, but it was with one of your younger coaches, Rory. I think he's left now. I think he went off to be a manager somewhere. But he basically was like, there was a clip, wasn't it, where he would go through players, bring them into a meeting and focus on them as individuals and work on them. And I bet he probably did that with Gabriel and a number of other players. And I bet that went a real long way. And I think that's probably why you're seeing some Arsenal players have really come on leaps and bounds.
I'm not sure if Gabriel Heinz has a, because he's a centre back. So Gabriel Heinz was not a bad defender. He wasn't the best defender, right?
You know what he
was an okay defender. He was a good defender.
Clumsy.
He actually won a lot with Man United.
Yeah, he's a winner.
That's
probably why he's out of dressing room.
A lot of people have been saying that behind the scenes so far this season, he's coming in and any, because I know people say like, oh, you finished second 3 years in a row, like could they give, like, apparently he's really it's gone the other way and he's galvanized a lot of them into believing.
I'm gonna say something else as well. I'm just gonna say something else as well, and I know I'm maybe praising Arsenal a lot here. It's a slap what is happening this season for everyone that said that the Arsenal team have peaked. They might have peaked too early. They peaked. They're not gonna get better than last season. And they keep saying this, and Arteta have peaked and all that. He cannot galvanize the team. Okay, you watch Arsenal now; they're better structured than last year. This season, they're more in control than last season. They're getting better, they're not going backwards. They're taking steps forward.
What you got to realize, guys, like there's competition for places. You know what I mean? When there's competition for places, it elevates everybody else around them, right? Nobody wants to lose their spot. This is why,
and I still don't think they're playing their best football. So Arsenal have peaked.
Forward, I have a lot of criticism for Arsenal going forward. I think that Arsenal, they reached the final third, not the final third.
final part where now you got to the byline. Now this is the final pass that will put this guy, the big chance will be created, and it's not happening. They're struggling to do that. Yes, Eucharist is dragging defenders doing this and that. That's not happening.
No, that's something to improve on, innit? There's something to go and reach. Imagine that starts working at the end. They're going to be unstoppable.
When they,
and I think it's not help.
I'd rather have a team that could improve than a team that already think they're finished.
I think one of the problems is how the team set up against them. It's very hard to create a chance when there is like 8 players in the 18. It's very hard. To be honest with you, I know you're gonna dip, Joe.
I'm going to eat, lads. I'm going. I can't lie. I'm starving. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye. See
you, Joe, man. Take care, bro.
Like the way the team doesn't create a lot of chances, I think that is something that you can improve on. You're in the stadium, Rory, and you can tell us. Like, it's not only about parking. I think it's, some teams like City create a lot of chances for Haaland. Haaland will have a clear-cut chance every game. Arsenal don't do this. They don't do this, and I don't know how to. Like, if I'm a man, I'm looking at it like, how do you solve this? Is it by bringing better players? Because I think Trossard and Martinelli are a problem on that left side still. They're not the most creative players.
No, I think Madueke will start there once he's fit, or once Ødegaard's fit, Eze will start there. I think there are different options. I think
Havertz will start left.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and a lot of people think that's mental, but I wouldn't.
I said this in the summer. I said he trusts Havertz so much and the work ethics that Havertz do, and the way he reads the game, Havertz, that he will find a place. And the only place he will find for him is the place that he doesn't have a starter for. That is fixed, which is the
left though. Does he play left foot?
He played for Chelsea on the left. He played for Leverkusen on the left. He played a couple of games for Arsenal on the left.
When he plays like that, like with the left foot.
He played Madueke there earlier in the season, which suggested that he's beginning to, accept
change
playing
the way he plays.
Actually, he played Havertz there when Gabriel Jesus was fit.
At times they interchanged really well actually when they did that.
And that actually Arsenal looked good actually when that happened.
I think you're right. I think, and the thing is as well is I think against Palace in particular, the way that Munoz plays, he's so willing to commit to just being high and wide no matter what. I think that really nullified Calafiori. Like in a lot of recent games, Calafiori has been the kind of one player that we've given this almost free roam role to, and it's caused problems. Whereas I think because of Munoz doing that, Calafiori didn't really do that, which is fine. And I think the thing is, once we were 1-0 up, it was like, okay, take the game to us, or we'll just see it out for a 1-0 win. And they never really did take the game to us after that. So
they tried at the end. They tried at the end.
Barely though.
For I saw Nketiah, they got a couple of corners. Nketiah committed.
Yeah, but they still never committed to having.
By the way, they didn't have a shot on target. The stats show a shot on target. There is not one shot on target.
Did you see the shot on target that they were claiming was a shot on target?
Exactly, I saw that, and that's a joke. You're trying to put the shot on target. It's not a shot on target. Raya literally didn't dive. He walked to the ball and grabbed it. That's not a shot on target.
But no. But what I'm saying is, even then, even towards the end, they still had 3 centre backs playing as 3 centre backs, and so even if we went long, you still had like Lacroix covering it. I didn't feel like they really sort of pressured us, and that's fine. Like, but don't complain if you then walk away with a boring 1-0 defeat.
Rory, have you felt like any teams pressured you this season? Because I think you've done such a good job
United.
not conceding chances.
United did, because I actually...
We're coming for you, Rory. We're coming for you.
Well, I think, opening game of the season, I think we looked poor. The thing is, Zubimendi's been such a good player for us, and that opening week, he was ill all the way leading up to that United game. But other than that, like, Leeds kind of did, and they got beaten 5-0, and Atletico did, and they got beaten 4-0. And so it's like there's no incentive for teams to try and do that. But equally, at what point do you start looking at it and going, well, okay, but teams are just now losing 1-0 or 2-0 to set piece goals? Because I genuinely, there will be a couple of games this season where we don't score. But I generally don't think it's possible to go a full 90 minutes against Arsenal sitting that deep, especially the longer the game goes, the deeper and deeper you end up getting. Arsenal will get set pieces and long throw-ins and find a way to score. So, I think we've created something.
I think we'll actually see it. I think we'll see it this Wednesday, guys. Brighton will not sit deep against Arsenal. They won't.
Yeah.
Brighton will play through Arsenal, will try at least to play through Arsenal in the midfield. They will try to actually pass the ball the vertical way they do, which is the only team in the world that does this with the Zerbi team in Marseille. They pass the ball vertical, they don't go wide, right? And this is a real test for Arsenal. But I'm sure he's going to rotate. And if Arsenal loses this game,
they've got a squad, Mo. They've got a squad. You know what I mean?
If he rotates and loses the game, he's going to get in the media, are going to absolutely batter him as the captain. But I think
the thing
he's
is, the
focused on the
games, Burnley and Sunderland, we've got to try and just put our foot on the.
You have an easy game in the middle, which is Slavia Prague. Slavia Prague is easy, realistically easy. Yeah, it helps a lot. Then after this, Spurs at home, I think you're going to smash them.
That week we got Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea in 3 consecutive games. But by that point, Madueke, Havertz, and Odegaard should all be back. So
that's end of November. Yeah, that's Thanksgiving here. But listen, guys, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Before you go, guys, make sure to check out OK Jersey, guys, the sponsor. Very simple. Just go and check them out and also use the code JUDGE actually to get 8%. It helps us. I don't get the 8%, but you will get the 8%. So go and check them out and don't forget to use the code JUDGE. I'm going to see you guys in about half an hour on MHF. I want to thank everyone that joined us. Rory Talks Football in the description. Flying Now with Arsenal, of course, and also on TikTok and Instagram. Great content, of course. LFC Red Forever is Fozi's channel, of course. Street for Post, Sal's channel for all the Man United content, of course. And Dan, and also Just Joe Football Show for the best watch-alongs on YouTube after Wolfie when his team loses for Nottingham Forest. Right? Big up everyone that joined us. This will take you to MHF where we got a different panel for you. Of course, Sal is going to be there for us to cook Hussam. And I will see you guys. And we're out of here, people.
Take care, everybody.